Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Mischief and Crypto Phil. We're here and we're going to talk about our favorite thing in the entire world, goddamn cryptocurrency. That's right. Pardon my French. So I'm here today with not just Crypto Phil, who is joining as a guest also, and this is should also be on Crypto Phil's channel as well, which is great. We're here with the team from GEMS, which is a project that I've been talking about over the past few weeks because I really, really like what they're doing with their launchpad and also with their Mercury miner and with their soon to be released Gems trade as well. They have it all going, and I asked them to come on the channel, and they're here. So I'm really, really happy to host Isaac and Adan on the channel with me today. So hi guys, how are you doing?
Hey, thank you for having us, Richie and Crypto Field. Thank you guys. Very excited being here with you guys.
Yeah.
Same here. Same here. Great guys. Thank you for your time and effort and everything. Thank you.
Phil, how is the weather in sunny UK today?
Believe it or not, it's we are at 16 degree and it's sunny for 8 days in a row. I never have so much sun in the last 365 days. And yeah, that's UK is raining. You know how it's like. You know how it is like 12 months of 12 months. Isaac, nice to see you again. I did met you. By the way, if you don't know, I went to see these guys in 5-6 weeks ago, and I met Isaac in Singapore in Token 2049, and I think I met some of the team in Dubai last year. So I just met these guys like 3 times already in 1 year and a half. So I'm glad we can do this AMA because I know what you're doing, what you're building behind, and I put some money, again, not financial advice, but I like what you're doing. So Richie, go ahead, you're the host, and thank you for giving me the invitation here.
Yeah, couldn't do it without you because Phil was actually the guy who told me about Gems. He was like, "Hey Richie, I've got a really great project. He's told me he's invested in it and he thinks it's really great." So I did some research and I thought, yes, Phil is right. But there will be many people watching today who might not know everything about Gems. Maybe you missed my prior videos. Shame on you. or you're just not clued up enough. So this is the perfect opportunity for you to learn about Gems from the team themselves. That's why I wanted to do this. So what I'd like to ask first is if you could just give me a quick elevator pitch style answer on what GEMS is and why it stands out in the crypto space.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. I think the best thing is just present the numbers or the slide. We presented a short slide that basically tells our story. So what we do, yeah, thank you for this. So basically what we do, we are all into finding great technologies and get in early. So we are looking, and for the sake of our community, great projects and the ability to get really first on the project and get in on the pre-sale. It's an exclusive pre-sale since it's a closed sale. Most of it, everything we've done so far is closed only for community member, only via leaders who have access and share their codes with their communities like Richie and Phil. In terms of numbers, what we did, so first of all, we're always looking for top tier technologies and with the potential to perform very well. In numbers, let the numbers speak. So we raised for 5 projects that lasted a year and a half, maybe a bit more even already, more than $200 million, as you can see. We did it basically thanks to our community leaders. As you can see, it's almost 4,000 leaders. We don't do like the direct sell. What we do is the filtering process, the due diligence process, the searching process. Then we onboard it on a platform and we share with our community leaders, trying to convince them that this is a good project. We got people like you guys convinced that the current project is good, and thanks to guys like you, we reached a community of 2.5 million users from more than 100 countries globally. Of course, we have our own token. It's a utility token with 10,000 holders. So I hope I told a bit longer than the typical elevator pitch, but this is basically about us.
Yeah, big numbers too. 200 million raised, in previous raises, right? Like this is something about Gems that I like is that you've taken the experiences that you've gone through working in crypto and just continue to build on them We were talking briefly, was it yesterday, the day before? I was talking with Adan about this, and you've got loads of experience in this space. Like you were telling me, like Adan, like almost like over a decade, right?
Yeah, I look old, but no, not over a decade. I would say something like over a decade, like 20 years in digital marketing and marketing in a whole. So I've done a lot of that, and from the blockchain and crypto perspective, I started 2016 in the industry. So I've been spending my industry with startups and prominent projects from around 2017, something like that.
That's good. And Isaac, what about yourself? What is your background?
So almost 10 years. Basically, I'm from the technology sector. Bought my first Bitcoin around 2016. Got into the industry about a year later. So I've been a part of eToro. If you're from the crypto team of eToro, I know that a lot of the crypto community are familiar with eToro. I was a part of a crypto investment group, a hedge fund, a publicly traded first investment firm, and then joined GEMS. Some of our team members are hardcore, more than 12 years in the industry. One of our guys, it's a famous story, but he got so early on Bitcoin, so a lot of things he bought with Bitcoin. For example, his vacuum cleaner cost him 5 Bitcoins. True story, right? The guy, I think he's on the show. So guys are, some of them opened the embassy, one of the local embassies of Bitcoin embassies across the globe. So yeah, the team is very experienced. It's important because if you saw 3 cycles, you can definitely see the evolution, Richie, as you said, in the industry. Like, who was ever thinking about tokenomics in 2017 and the big boom of the ICOs, right? And also later on in 2021, the community side, how important it is to have a community or a smart listing process. So we see evolution of how successful events or successful projects build their success. And we try to take not only our experience, but also the projects here on the platform the last year and a half. We're going to speak about it more later on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like the numbers, like, $202 million raised. It's to date, right? You've launched 5 projects with GEMS. And then here it says, 3.9 thousand community leaders. And that's the huge backbone of workforce behind the Launchpad. To take a step back, if anyone's watching thinking, okay, what is a Launchpad essentially? It is GEMS is offering, I guess the way I'd say it, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's like GEMS is offering, GEMS is standing there as a it's got a piece of technology where you are able to attract investment to projects that want to launch, right? And because of your experience and your history in crypto, you know how to vet and decide, which projects, say a coin comes and says, oh, we want to launch on GEMS, right? But you won't just take any Tom, Dick, or Harry to launch on GEMS, right? You have a serious amount of experience that can really give you the opportunity to find the best projects to launch, right? And the 4 that you have with this GEMS miner, they're great, really great projects. So what is your process when you decide, on a project that you want to work with? How do you vet them essentially?
Yeah, so I'll tell you this. It will take approximately usually 4 months.
That's a long time. Yeah.
Dan, correct me if I'm wrong. 4 months. I think so far in 4 or 5 out of the 6 projects, we invested our own money as well. So it's also for us. If we are willing to put our money within the projects, it's also a question mark. Usually, I will say it's the same things, right? It's the technology, it's the community, the team, and the tokenomics. Highly, highly important. We gained so much experience the last year and a half. I'm not saying 6, 7, 8 years. Only what happened in the industry the last year and a half, and you will see it in the miner. We implemented the lessons learned in the industry, but not only in the last year and a half. You have to have those decades of experience. You see how important it is, and usually, and we are a part of the incubation process. For example, nowadays. I mean, it used to be a way of thinking that when I lock your tokens, it's a bad thing, right? It's a free industry, free economy. It's all about giving you the power, the control, your tokens. We see it historically. You cannot, Richie, educate people. No matter how much you're going to tell them, don't sell those tokens, don't dump them. Let the project mature. Let him show some traction, believe, build his community, develop his technology. People are dumping the coins, right? And we see for almost 15 years that the only one who was right was Satoshi, right? For example, distribution of tokens. I will speak about it later on, but I'm just trying to say that this is one of the main things we are looking into it. It's not only about the technology. You have to have a very unique, interesting software technology. You have to have a great community, but you also need to look at those points where the token will be launched, will be live. How will it perform? In addition to the technologies, I think this is an edge, thanks to the experience within the Launchpad and our own personal we bring to the table.
Yeah. And so Phil, got a question for you, Phil. so you knew about GEMS before me, right? So what attracted you to GEMS Launchpad?
To be honest, when I met them first in Dubai last year in April, actually I did met some of the team, and they say, "Hey, are you like a YouTuber?" Because I was recording everywhere. Like I'm doing like 50 interviews in 2 days, and I can barely speak for like 2 weeks after that. And then I say,
"It's a slow day for him."
Yeah.
He was tired.
Yeah, exactly. And then I say, so what the heck is GEMS? I ask, and they say, oh, this is a Launchpad and all this stuff. And it was just a brief explanation. Then I went on a call with them. I did little chat, and then I was very interesting. And then I met them again in Singapore, and I met Isaac. I say, hey, here you are. So let's have a like more chat. And I asked, the main thing for me was, okay, I know it's a Launchpad. The things what I like is because they're doing so much deep research for these tokens. Of course, we don't want rug pulls and all that stuff. So these guys know everything that the team is not going to rug pull. If the project going to be successful, it's not. That's a completely different story. We cannot predict that. But all the research what they do, and because they only have few projects, I'm talking about 5 projects or 1 year and a half. That's what sell me, to be honest. And then each time when I speak with them, I say I'm going to invest into Olympus or Leia, and they say, do you want to chat with the team? Do you want AMA? And I say, yeah. So they connect me like in 2 days. They set up. They say, here you are. There's the team. Ask them anything you want. And that's like a great. It's not easy. Like when I go to PinkCell, I'm investing there. You have like hundreds and hundreds of pre-sale, and then you say like, which one's going to be successful? 1 of 100. It's like. But here, at least, if you put in 5, you have from 5, even 1, if it's extremely successful, you're successful there. And then when we spoke for the miners, when they present them, when I met them, I said, wow, this is such a brilliant idea. I did a full interview with Isaac. Again, go on my YouTube channel and you can check them out, like only 10-15 minutes. And also with Adan, they explain the tokenomics. And also I spoke with one of the team from Olympus. I say, let me ask you something. I say, is this guys is it easy to get in here? They say, dude, we fight to get into this private Launchpad here. They did so much research. They say it's take us months and months. I say, no way. They say, yes way. It's not so easy. Just here you are. I have a project. I want to be in your Launchpad. No, it doesn't work like that. And the things when they probably Isaac going to mention when they have like the trade, the central exchange coming, the meme Launchpad. But I'm very, very, very interesting for the CEX, the central exchange, and also because the tokens will be launched there, and also for the miners and nodes, because me, I love nodes and I love miners. Like I'm all over there for the last 2 years. So all of that what I mentioned pretty much, and the team behind, and they're very transparent. If I text them, guys, I need some, I have question. If one guy don't know, they'll ask somebody else. They will come back to me. Simple as that. And they're always there, and it's not easy to find that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Excellent. So I guess we should start talking about the Mercury miner, right? Because that's the main focus of this video, because it's I was amazed, right, when when I was explaining how this works, because my experience on, like Phil was talking about, my experience of doing going into pre-sales for tokens in the past has been usually something like pink sale, or you're looking at one token and you've no idea how it's going to perform after launch. You're not sure if you're getting the best price, and you then buy the pre-sale. The pre-sale, the TGE comes for the token is launched, and then you look at the chart, and of course 99 times out of 100, the chart will go down. And you're like, oh no, I didn't win that one, right? So what GEMS have done is they have found a completely unique and new approach to how to handle launching tokens on a launch pad. And there's many different aspects to this which are brilliant. But I'll leave it to you guys to explain, like, what is the Mercury miner, and how does it fit into GEMS, and how does it work, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
I'll bring up the slide.
yeah, I mean, I'll ask you, let's start with a question. I'll take you
Okay.
back 15 years ago. Bitcoin is at $1, right? You have the opportunity to buy Bitcoin in $1, or to buy with the amount you want a miner. Who made more money? Cents. Right? Richie.
I didn't buy either, but I should have bought a miner. I should have bought a miner.
I mean, now it's easy to understand that, because in terms of psychology, those who bought Bitcoin, the answer, of course, is the miner. Why is that? Those who bought Bitcoin in $1 sold it in $3, $4, $5. I did 300x. I'm a genius. I'm the next Warren Buffett, right? I'm CZ. People don't have diamond hands. No matter what you're going to do, explain, I don't know, whatever pressure you're going to put on them, they are going to sell. And they're going to go sell early. So we know it's not about the education. While the miner holders, maybe they didn't get the big amount of BTC in $1, but their miner kept on producing them Bitcoin in $3, $10, $15, $20, $100, $200, $1,000. They always kept on getting Bitcoins, and the price already appreciated. So the fact they didn't get all the Bitcoins in one hand, it benefit them without them doing anything. So we see it's not about the education. Don't sell your tokens or buy low. It's about the architecture, right? So if we're in a room and there's a fire, and we agree in advance that in case of an emergency, we stand, all of us, in a straight line. We're, 50 people in the room. So we can effectively, efficiently, and faster get out of the room. We know that in real event, we're just gonna jump on the door, all of us, and it won't be fast and it won't be efficient. So the thing we need to do is just build a bigger door in case of emergency. That's why the emergency exits are bigger, because people cannot help themselves, right? You need to build the right architecture. So we see that architecture works, and we saw it from our own experience here in the last year and a half. I'm going to speak about it. Everything you see here is from our own experience to make people successful with their investments here, with their pre-sale participations. That's the goal we're trying to achieve. So we know that Satoshi was right. What do you mean? What do I mean? Sorry. Satoshi gave a clear understanding to everyone about the structure of the token distribution of Bitcoin from 2009, Richie, to 2140, 130 years. You know how many, all of us know, how many tokens will be produced every 10 minutes for 130 years. That benefits the Bitcoin miners, the Bitcoin holders, and the market. Markets love certainty. Certainty drives market confidence. And in our case, it avoids early dumping and selling. So that's why we are trying to bring this mindset and the success of Satoshi, structure of Bitcoin, to the alt industry. So we are presenting the Mercury, our first miner. What we allow is generate tokens from premium projects. We all in to maximize your chances to win and minimize the risks. So how do we do it? In one miner, it's a virtual miner. Of course, it's not a physical miner. You don't buy any equipment. You don't need to plug in into electricity. No, it's not the thing. It's a virtual miner. So in one miner, we gather 4 premium projects. We saw with us when participants in the community got into one project, I mean, the chances for them to succeed was smaller. But when you have people who got into several projects, they increase the possibility of them winning with their investment. So we are providing the opportunity to get 4 projects from different industries in one miner. So this Mercury miner produces on a monthly basis for 24 months 4 premium projects that we filtered and we choose. One of them is from the field of AI, Olympus AI. Phil spoke about it. Incentive layer 1 blockchain. By the way, these guys highly anticipated. They already raised $25 million with us in the launchpad about 6 months ago. We know that there's a big demand, so we're selling additional some portion for those who want to get early on incentive blockchain, Rain, a DeFi platform, and products in RWA. I will not get in this question into the projects, but I'll just show the allocation, right? So the Mercury miner will be operative for 24 months. Once we finish the pre-sale, it will start generating for 24 months those tokens. You can see the allocation here. It's 10% for incentive, 36% for Rain and Olympus, and 18% for products. We have 3 different miners, each one different size, different price, produces different amount of tokens. So far, so good.
Yeah, I'm following along, but like I've been researching gems for weeks. But yeah, it's, there's what I like most about the projects that you chose for the Mercury miner are that they're so different. So you have Olympus AI, which is an AI crypto coin, right? There's Incentive, which is a layer 1 blockchain. Then we have Rain, which is predictive markets. Think kind of, what's it called? Is it called hypermarket? No, what's it called again?
Polymarket.
Yeah, it's like Polymarket, right? You're essentially betting on the outcome of something happening, but in a decentralized manner. And the amount of users that Rain could bring in could be massive, right? And then there's Prodex, which is e-commerce. So you have 4 vastly different narratives, all inside of one purchase into the pre-sale or the launchpad, right? Well, the coin pre-sale essentially, right? And then you have this whole other dynamic that you put in with the mining aspect of it, which just, you're right, because, if you can get these coins for the next 2 years passively every single month, as opposed to just getting one allocation when everyone else gets the allocation, and hope and pray that it's going to take off, and then it's going to be the one project that's going to completely moonshot, right? It's a completely unique and it's brave. It's it stands out, and I think it's a great model. And I don't know about you, Phil, but I've never seen this kind of launchpad strategy before in all my time in crypto.
Yeah, I do agree. That's why I think when we had like the leadership summit, it was very interesting. Like everybody, we were listening like a monkey for banana. We were like that. And let me ask you. Oh, by the way, if anybody want to get the miner, very important. Use Richie code or my code. Don't forget, if you're my follower, you get a 50% discount. Probably Richie going to mention, but just to let you know, if you just go there and jump in now, if using the code by the leaders, that's what is different. Also, this platform, you're getting 50% discount. What's all benefits, Isaac, let me ask you something. How did you come up with this idea to have 4 miners? And Richie, one guy from over there, you have a question. I think you can ask from the chat.
Oh, from NFT investment, yeah.
Actually for the token, I think also I have many members. Isaac, you can answer like when we start getting the tokens, because people are used to the normal miner. You get the miner now and you start getting tokens now. But how the people getting the tokens, if you can mention a little bit, if you can describe that. will
Yeah, I
be
would.
very beneficial, and also for the price of the miner, how much they go up and all that stuff.
Yeah, his question is from NFT Investment. I'd like to ask the team how long they believe it will take for users to get their first allocation of coins. So that would be the duration of the investment phase of the miner, and then how long will that take, essentially?
Great. So we're raising, just to answer this, to NFT investments, we
Yeah.
are raising this first miner for 4 months or $40 million, the first among them. End of Q2, we should max finish the sale. End of Q2, beginning of Q3, we already start all of those tokens already will be listed on exchange, including our own exchange on GEMS Trade. That's vital and important. It should bring confidence to the community. That's one of the main, I think, things that is so great about it. But once it will be listed, the miner will be operational, meaning from the end of Q2, beginning of Q3, the miner will start allocating on a monthly basis the tokens for 24 months. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, and the allocations are here. You know, everything's there. There's nothing hiding. So it's $40 million raise is the hard cap, the goal, the main goal, and it's on the way I understand it is the rounds of the investment into the Mercury miner are set on I guess it's on a timer as well, right? So it's either that the cap is met or it moves into the next round. And
yes, exactly. So here I'm presenting it to you now. So first of all, there's a hard cap of $40 million to raise. The price increases in 2.5% every $1 million worth of miners sold. So every $1 million we sell, the price go up by 2.5%. I'll just let you know that about a week ago, Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, we sold the first million. I believe the second million will be closed. I think we're not far away from there. I think next week. So this is in terms of hard cap and how the price system is going up. That's why we encourage people to get in early, the best price. You have, as Crypto Phil mentioned, 3 miners. You have the mini miner in $199. You have the miner $3,999, and the mega miner, which produces the biggest amount of tokens for each project, which is almost $20,000. Now, since we're a community-driven launchpad, we want to encourage our leaders and, of course, reward their communities. So by using their code, you get 50% off the price. So it's $100 to $2,000 and $10,000. Again, this is the first time. So first of all, use leaders code. Use Richie's, use crypto, use Phil's code.
Yeah, anybody's. Yeah.
Benefit you. This is, by the way, the first time we're opening any sale that we have here for the entire public, completely open one. But again, since we are community driven and we want to promote and push our leaders, you better know a leader. It's always helpful. You will get a significant amount of discount.
Yeah, it's huge discount, actually, massive. It's half off. And so we have a couple. There's some things I want to touch on. So I'll tell you. You can choose the order, actually. So either we can look into the 4 projects which are being offered through the Mercury miner, or we can talk about GEMS Protect, or which one would you like to touch on first? Because GEMS Protect was just announced a couple of days ago, right? And this is another unique thing I've never seen before.
Once again, we're trying to bring confidence. We're highly confident in what you're seeing here. So, Adan, I don't know if we even managed to get here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So listen, what we are doing now, we haven't done before. It was on our roadmap. By the way, if you follow us, it was on our roadmap a year ago. What we tried to build is some kind of a protect, some kind of a, you can say in a way, it's like a protecting your investment in the projects that on board with us. We didn't manage to do so. It took time. Now with everything, regulation, everything, we find a way to do it. So what we are doing is we're protecting the investment and the community. What we are offering here is 75% protection for your investment, meaning you buy a miner, you pay additional 5%, and 75% of the investment is secured, right? How do we do this? Once you buy the tokens, it's only, by the way, optional if you trade them or put them on our exchange that's soon to be launched, I think a week or two.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that after this, actually.
Yeah, that for sure. You put them on GEMS Trade, and once every quarter, every 3 months, the system makes a snapshot of your investment. If you go below the 75%, there is a sub account opened immediately, and we fill in the gap. So let's say you're minus $1,000, you will see additional $1,000 in the sub account. You cannot yet claim it, only in the end of the process, but throughout the quarters, you can always see those 75% balanced. If your investment goes below that, you can see the sub account goes higher, and vice versa. So the idea is to show you how much we are confident in the projects. Why are we confident? I'll add. First of all, we are funding this in 3 ways. 1, from the 5% coming from the users, 2 from us, and 3 from the projects. This is the combination, how the fund is built. The second thing why we are so confident in the projects is the fact when a project is launched, Richie, Phil, you saw it so many times. You have token holders that want to sell, right? But not always you have the buyers from the other side. As you know, you need to build a community, trust, a utility for the token, an interest to make it go viral. So sometimes it takes time. So what we are doing together now with the projects, we are making sure the projects, as an agreement we did with them, they put 20% from their tokenomics as a liquidity. Meaning at the beginning, the one, in case there won't be any buyers, the one who will put the liquidity in the market will be the projects themselves. That's vital. We've saw it countless times from our own experience as well, for those who knows us. You have a great project, great technology, great funding, but once the project goes listed, there is no buyers, only sellers, because psychology and countless other reasons. You need to have liquidity from the other side. This is what we're sharing with the community from our experience. That's why all of those the projects will need to bring the liquidity, and of course us from our profits in this process. We are confident. Can never be sure, right? No, nothing is guaranteed, but we're confident. Richie, when you have those 3 pillars, you have, first of all, the miner. The people are not getting all their tokens released at once. You only have, slow flow of tokens each month. This is one thing. The second thing, you have the liquidity coming and buying this in case there is no interest. The liquidity, strong liquidity from the project. And the fourth side also protects the investors in 75% of their investment. We believe it's a great opportunity, and we believe it will bring the confidence to investors to take part in what we're sharing. We haven't done that before, but we are talking and we're building this. I think we couldn't have been here, Adan, 6 months ago, right? Or a year ago, without the experience gained here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I've,
Yep.
once again, never seen this. Yeah, Adam, what are you saying?
On top of that, we don't just believe, in our community. We believe in our projects. We believe in our leaders. This is a belief system that is intricately built with everyone around this model. So this architecture is built for everyone. is to protect everyone from this market. It's a way to protect our community, our leaders, again, the projects themselves. So it is a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, well said.
Hold on. We're not sure it's going to be a win-win. Nobody can predict the future. It's not a financial advice. We're not sure.
No. I wasn't talking about the
Believe.
financial side.
No. I'm just saying. We do believe. You know, in crypto, you need one win. We have 4 projects here in my background. You need one win. In our thoughts, we're going to have 2 significant wins here, right? We have great technologies. We believe we're going to see 2 projects outperform strongly. We have a huge I'm not going to say the names, but you can think by yourself. But once again, we cannot promise 100x in day number 1, right? We just had a call with one of our communities from Mexico. We cannot promise, and we're not going to do it. This is not pump fund. There's not gambling, but we are basing great technologies on a very smart structures that already proven themselves, like the Satoshi structure, the miner system, right? And of course, the insurance that should bring more confidence to the community.
That's good, actually, because we just had a question from D Easy. He touched on actually what you were saying there. Well, he first asked how are they vetting the projects they're choosing to work with, but we already talked about that. You have a 4 to 5 month vetting process for each project, and Phil also checked that by talking to some of the projects, and they said, yeah, you guys are tough to get listed with, right? But then he says 4 projects are great if at least 1 or 2 of them make a profitable move. If they're all done, 1 or 4 makes no difference. And from what you're saying there is, in my opinion, it takes 1 of those 4 to perform like I think they will, and it will become a profitable investment. But again, cannot guarantee. I was actually talking with Adan like 2 days ago, and when he told me about Gems Trade, we were talking about it, and I said the words bulletproof, right? And immediately Adan turns to me and goes, no, that's completely incorrect. Nothing is bulletproof, right? And that actually made a big impression on me, because it's not very often when you talk to privately as well, right? So this was just a private talk where you talk to a team that are, working in crypto, and they can give you that kind of experience and honesty, and bringing this insurance model, and with the vetting process that you have with these projects, it's just it's a perfect storm, in my opinion. But maybe Adam will disagree again. So there's no perfect storm.
Yeah, no. There's the perfect thing is look. I think again, we accumulated enough information to understand what not to do. Not what to do, but what not to do. It's 50% of the process is learning what not to do, and we're on top of that at least. And yeah, there's a lot of misconception. There's a lot of things in the industry that people are missing. But at the end of the day, the technology, everything that we support, everything that we go through, is to minimize the risk. That's the main event here: minimizing the risk, maximizing the opportunities, and that's the bottom line of what we do here at Launchpad.
Richie,
yes.
Question, Isaac. I asked you earlier. You forgot to answer. How did you come up with this idea for a miner with 4 tokens? And that's one question. And also, don't forget to catch up for the node, because to get the miner, you must own a node. Yeah. And what's the benefits of the node? Because that's also very interesting.
Yeah. So actually, it's with calls with the community, with the community leaders. So it was very obvious that people who put investment in several projects, so they saw a great return, I think around 500% with the GEMS token. With Leah at the beginning, it was, I don't know, 600, 800, even 2000%, but they lost with DOP. But these guys said, okay, so I won twice, but I lost once. Good, let's take the profits and keep on investing. But those who were only with one project, it was first of all hard to choose which one of them. And if they, God forbid, but they lost, they did and kept on investing with us. So we said, let's try to help them. Let's just put a basket of tokens, right? And so the idea was at the beginning, just put a basket of several tokens together. But then we came up with the idea, like we saw with some previous project, if you give them the entire tokens, they're going to dump on you, right? On them, not on us, right? So you have to find the structure. So everything was an evolution, right? A project after project in terms of tokenomics. I remind you, 2 years ago in 2023, the concept of locking your tokens was like, oh man, we're not in 2021 or 2020 market. That's a different market. Don't lock the people. And people paid the price for that. Now you see clearly in numbers, this model is growing annually, 35% per year. It's predicted that 20% of decentralized startup will adapt this structure of fundraising by the end of next year. Why? From the same reasons. The same reasons. So we took this, I mean, you see it in the market, right? Something is going that direction. Something works better that way than what we got used so far. So we said, let's shift. It's a dramatic shift. But I don't see, Phil, any better option now for us in the future. Of course, we suffered from the previous experience. So currently, we are testing this. And we believe after this miner, we already have plans for the Moon miner. It's going to be by far bigger in terms of raise also. But we believe this one will bring significant results for the community in terms of, once again, in profits. This is how we'll be judged in terms of profits. How much money will the investors will make? That's the end goal. We understand everybody are here in the end of the day to make significant amounts. We're trying to help them, right? We're trying to help
them. And then
also the node part. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the node. Yeah.
Buy a node. It's the node is like Adan. It's like being in the system, right?
Yeah. I'll elaborate a little bit. So again, the entire system is to support the ecosystem, and basically the node gets its allocations from other parts of the ecosystem when you purchase a node. But again, the miner system and everything is built around same technology and around let's call it same allocations, because all of those projects are connected to incentive blockchain. But again, I think we should do like a deep dive separate segment, and that could be awesome on the node itself again.
Yeah, but don't get too complicated. The node is just
we're not
ambassador on the process. You buy the node for $99, and you also get rewards from the self-serve, from the fees from the GEMS trade. So it's like,
oh, that's interesting though.
Holding the node.
So you're saying that the node will also have a connection with the blockchain incentive?
Well, no, it's not exactly like that. But again, I think we can do like a separate deep dive.
Yeah, it sounds very complex, but the what I understand from the node is that it's what, $99 for the node. You cannot buy the miner without the node.
Exactly.
And the node is a core mechanic of GEMS. And as more of these, as you know, as the GEMS Mercury miner finishes, and then those tokens launch, and also when GEMS Trade launches, the purpose of the node will become more apparent, right? In essence, it's going to have more than just unlocking a miner. It's going to be linked to more. And it does bring me to ask, because you've mentioned GEMS Trade a couple times, and so what is GEMS Trade? What's the big idea here? What's it going to be?
I think we're the first launchpad that builds and operates his own exchange and not the other way around. It's usually an exchange going big, successful, and opens like a side business, his own launchpad. Well, what happened here is that, thank God, we had a great success. We saw throughout the process, if you don't have, I don't know, I'm not going to say any connection, but if you don't have your own exchange, you have a conflict of interest, and sometimes you get manipulated by the exchanges themselves. And no matter how big you are, you can raise DOP, $160 million. Once you go on the listing process, which is so important, people, I mean, I cannot underestimate how important is the listing process. Once you don't have any, I mean, it's not your own exchange. They have a conflict of interest with you. So you want to list, you want the projected, the listing price will be at your last pre-sale price. But this is your interest. The exchange has his own interest. He wants to put it in 2.5 cents. And then the selling, the dump, the panic starts. And the entire projects can suffer a trauma. And everybody are losing besides the exchange, right? So that's why we actually acquired an exchange. We have a full dedicated team here and in the office in Cyprus to help us manage and run our own exchange, to not have this conflict of interest, and to increase the chances of success of those projects who come and launch on our platform, right? So once these projects will go listed on our exchange, at least the listing price there, you know, Richie, the listing price is relevant for the exactly less than a second, right? Because then the market will decide what is the price, the buyers and the sellers.
Yeah.
But the psychology, Richie, of the number of the beginning of the trade, the listing price is important. It's vital. So that's why all of these projects on our exchange, their projected listing price will be double from the last round. We will sell them right on the miner. It's a projected one. It's only on our exchange, and it's only relevant for less than 1 second, right, Adan and Richie and Phil? We all know that the market determines the price, but at least for this psychology part, we don't want to make the mistakes or the conflict of interest, having those projects suffer from the conflict of interest that they will face with other exchanges as well, because they're going to be listed on top other exchanges. But at least with us, we won't be the one who will have this conflict with them, and we will try to help them succeed. So this is what we allow those projects to have a soft listing with us. Also, the community that trades with us would get the benefits. For example, if you're a node holder and you have to have a node holder, you will get small amount of all the fees that generated to you as a node holder. If you're a leader on the platform, your community can get benefits, and you can get benefits also personally. So, but the main points why we're building exchange, I spoke of at the beginning.
To add on top of that, it just adds a layer of transparency that we give to our community. So part of the structure and the architecture is being transparent and visible as possible to everybody that's come in contact with our community and our products, of course.
Do we have date for the exchange? Do we know it like in a couple of weeks, next month? Like, when is the plan?
Look, I'll tell you this from the team next door and the guys in Cyprus. It's a huge event, having your own exchange in terms of technology. I know that they were on an AMA, a community AMA today, earlier. I think in the upcoming 2 weeks, don't get me by the day or the time, but like very, very close. It's really around the corner. There's a lot of technical issue when you run an exchange. So sorry in advance to the community, but it will take additional, I think, week or two.
It's okay though, because the plan with the big plan with the idea with the exchange must be that you want it launched and fully road tested before the Mercury miner finishes, and then these 4 new tokens launch onto the exchange, right? It's
definitely it will have to be live prior to this. By the way, don't get me wrong. My prediction, as far as I know, at least 2 of these projects will be on the top 4 exchanges, right? The top ones, the top, in addition to us. So I can assume you will see once again, I cannot promise anything, guys. I'm just be as transparent as I can. You'll probably see some of them on OKX, on Bybit, on maybe even on Binance. As far as I know, some of them are already in talks with them. So you will see them on all those Gate and Gate.io and the top exchanges, but they're going to be with us, all of them.
Yeah.
So,
So we have a quick
Ricky,
question here.
Ricky,
How?
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Just
No
to
problem.
ask you, when they listing in the other exchange the project, are they going to list in the same time? First to your
Probably all of them going to be at the same time, or in a difference of like a couple of days. Oz is asking a question: how many miners can be linked to one node? Up till 40 million.
Okay.
Market cap worth of miners, 40 million. We cannot sell no more.
Oh, $40 million, right? Because different kind of miners. So must be 40. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. So which kind of miners you're buying? The mega miner, the $10,000, or the mini miner?
Don't forget, it's the miners are NFT, so you can sell them in the future in the open market. So that's very interesting to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's by the way, it's a very also a process that we've been through, a thinking process. The miner basically is an NFT. You're buying an NFT, you will see it on your smart wallet. So let's say after 6 months, you had it. You made so much money with the miner, you're saying, okay, I want to sell this miner. You can sell it. It's completely tradable. It's an NFT. It keeps on operating on a monthly basis, but you can switch hands. I can send it to Richie. Richie can send it to Adan. It's completely transferable. It's an NFT. That's why it's an NFT.
Yeah. Send it to your grandma. You can do anything with it, Yeah. But for the GEMS trade, it's very smart because it's taking that small or actually large amount of risk that you have to have when being a launchpad and saying, okay, we're going to do the raise, we're going to do the promotion for you, we're going to put all this work in to make sure that your project is as successful as possible. But we are now going to have to take a gamble on the fact that the launch is going to go, the way that we said it would go. And, in crypto, it's so high risk with all these different, you're tying things together a lot of the times and relying on other people that you can't necessarily control. And what you're doing with creating Gems Trade is you're taking that small but very important part of the launch process and ensuring that you have the control of it, and it's great,
It's great. It costs a lot of money, but it's worth it. We believe it's worth it.
Yeah, but
actually you buy a lot of components, hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I believe, as exactly as you said, it will increase the chances of the project succeed. Thus, we're gonna keep on succeeding as the launchpad and gain more profits from what we do as a service that we provide.
Yeah. Dinezi says, is there any value to the miner after 24 months that it receives the tokens?
No.
Yeah, it will be a dead miner.
Yeah, it will be the next miner. The next miner is the Moon miner. It's probably going to be a bigger one.
Yeah. Because I predict, my prediction, the Mercury miner will be a fantastic success. I've also invested into the Mercury miner. I'm DCAing in. I'm trying to get them as fast as possible so that, because the price does go up also. So as each round completes, the price of the miner gets more expensive. So it is important, if you are investing, to try and get the best price. The best price is always, earlier. And I predict it's going to be an amazing success. And then of course, this model will be proven to be a very strong launch model. So therefore, definitely you'll probably make another one. That's why
we need the community to succeed. We need people to see like the token. We need them, first of all, to perform very well. The tokens, We need them to have great technologies, build big communities, and perform very well. And the tokens need to perform very well. The buyers will need to see great returns. We know from our history, once the buyers are satisfied, they're coming back and they keep on going, taking additional journey with us.
Yeah, exactly. Just building more and more community. So the last question I have is more about overall overall approach to. So it's what is your advice on approaching crypto investing overall with a long-term business oriented mindset? Because that's what GEMS really has, right? You guys have a long-term business mind for this. You're not just looking for, 6 months, the bull run's going to be over and, whatever. You guys are looking not only to this bull run, you guys are even looking to after the next bear market, right? So what advice do you have for that? Like, how did you come to this kind of experience level?
Look, I'll tell you this. The best projects had some kind of miner system. They didn't call it miner. It was locking, right? You were locked and you're still in the great projects, right? You are locked for a year, 2 years. It takes time. Why is that? You need the project to mature. We want to see the community performing very well for this end of summer, crypto summer, and through the winter of 2026. We know that the winter is coming. It's going to be our third or fourth winter, all of us here. So we know how it usually looks. We need these guys to go on a journey with us to make also great profits, but it takes time, right? For 2 years. And that's why we're also building the exchange. So they're gonna have everything in one venue. So we believe that this structure will help them to see also success during the winter. In terms of predictions, yes, we build the exchange. We have the launchpad. We have the meme coin launchpad that is about Adan. We launched it like it was a quiet launch, right? About a week ago. So we're building several services. We want to be here at the next summer. We were planning to be here in 2028. We believe that some of the things we built here will help us and the community stay here with us and also see success. So I'm not sure I'm answering your question. I'm just sharing our perspective. How do we see the market? Adan, anything you want to add? I think you usually have great additional value in those questions.
Thank you. I don't know. I think it's just to pay attention, not to all the just hype. You have to do your own research. You have to understand that to develop a great product, you need time. Products don't just show up, fall from the sky without development, without a strong team, and without money. This is a business at the end of the day. You have to look at this as a business. It's a long-term business. It's, only the ones that plan for the long run survive in this business. So, I've been to several other companies, and always the long term is, you have to fund it, but you have to wait until it's done. When the project is done, and then all those tokens have use cases and have use on their respective systems, then the volume will go up. But if there's no product yet, and you're just, throwing it around, it's not like such a success story. So at the end of the day, that's why we built this thing, to give you a 2-year run and not like a 1-minute run. It's for a more patient community, but at the end of the day, the product will speak for itself, and you have a long run. It's not just from today to tomorrow, and that's the entire structure built on. That's the entire thing.
Yeah. Good answer.
Thank
Hey,
you.
I'm buying more miners now.
Yeah. I'm buying all the miners now, Dan.
You said it. You said it.
Yeah.
You should. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Okay, great. I've really enjoyed this stream today and getting.
Hold
to
on,
learn
Richie,
from
can we
you guys.
ask you a question?
Yes, go for it.
I mean, you're in this space also for a while now.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years now. Yeah, me and Phil together. Yeah, together.
Give us your perspective. Also, in terms of the same question, basically you asked us, we're asking you back in terms of
Okay, yeah. So as with
long-term thinking in this field, in this industry.
So with the kind of job I have to do, plugged into crypto all the time, I do agree that if it's really easy to get distracted by, for example, X or Twitter, right? You turn on X this morning and you just see, oh my God, this is happening. This is going to be fantastic. You look at something and there's a huge green candle or a massive red candle, right? And it's very, very easy just to completely forget all logic, go emotional, turn on the emotions, and then just, make the wrong decisions. So that's definitely step one for getting better in trading and investing, is just to stop, just completely stop, turn off everything, go outside, do something else, come back. Usually when you come back, everything's fine. It could be a rug pull, but generally everything's fine, right? And it will recover. And that's the first one. And then in terms of investing in pre-sales and launch pads, it's all about the team. I invest in people. I invest in businesses and what they can offer and what they're building. There's absolutely no point going into pre-sales when you have no idea who is creating it and what they're going to do. 99% of the time, they are going to take all the money. They might not steal the money, but the value in the project will disappear over time. And that's because it's not a real business. It is just a quick way for someone to extract money out of other people's wallets. And if you can tick these things, if you check, okay, I know who is running this project, I understand their philosophy, I check and see like what they're doing, and then you have to take the risk, commit to your decision, and it might work, it might not. Nothing is guaranteed. But if you can kind of break down all these parts of the investment process, especially in crypto, it does also work a lot of the time in the real business world. But in crypto, everything is dialed up to 11, for these kind of things. But that's usually my approach to launchpads and most of my investing. Yeah. What about you, Phil?
Yeah, I think after being with, I think me and you, we've been through tough, I think great DeFi and great ROI dApps and miners and all the stuff, different type of miners. By the way, Isaac, miners where they pay like, you know what I mean, Richie?
Yeah, insane.
And we've been through so many pre-sales, and like 90% of them are like 98%, 99.9 are gone. Most of them are gone in the first week, then in the first month, most of them, and next month it's like gone. I do agree. I think it's good to know, even before when I was investing in some, and I'm still, of course, investing in different nodes. I would like to know the team, and like we did mention another node, just a couple of months ago, and the team, we already know the team, and that's how I say, okay, great, we know what they did before, successful project. And then now, and I met you physically, like here, I met you physically. I know you're in. If I need to see you, I'll come to talk in 2049, and I will see you there. I know where you are basically. You have a huge like a place there. But it's by the way, whoever wants to go and visit them, amazing place. They have a great place. And then I do agree. I think team is very important, and also like Isaac mentioned before, they're looking so much for tokenomics. It's not like here you are the tokens, and then of course you're like greedy. We're all greedy ships, and we all want just the money now. And like this, you are not able to sell them like now. So basically, you need to wait, just hold them or do whatever you want. But for 2 years, you have all that every month small allocation, and not people can not just dump. And also, like you mentioned, the good stuff here is, you have your own centralized exchange, and people, they will provide 20% liquidity. What 20% providing liquidity, it's a lot. Usually they're providing like what, 5, 8, 10%,
2%, 1.5%. Nobody, projects don't have the interest to take their own token and buy from the market, take their money and buy your tokens or their tokens from the market. It's 10 times more. It's insane. I definitely agree with you. I just sorry for the passion. But you have to understand 20% is a huge amount. Sorry, Phil. Continue.
No, it's okay. Listen, 2%, that's like embarrassing, like how, doesn't matter. All these things, Richie, and regarding the market, man, we are here too for a long run. Of course, not many projects will stay alive overall from all that 20,000 now, especially with all this. But check this out. Let's go just 1 second. Go to Pumped Up Fund. How many we have? What, a millions project launch? How many are successful? 5? it's like sad. It is very sad. And you investing not every day, but 4 or 5 times per week, I'm contacted by some project for pre-sales and all the stuff. I say, okay, so who is the team? Oh, we are anonymous. I say, well, okay, goodbye. Just what project you had before? Oh, well, nothing. I say, okay, goodbye. See you never. Simple as that.
Yeah.
What happened to the word hodl? You know, with 2017, when I started like my serious run, everybody said hodl on everything. When
Yeah.
things were bad, when things were worse, when things was dead, everybody said hodl, hodl. I think that's the success of Bitcoin in a long run, belief system, and a long run education system, and a long run structure that gives you the exact amount you know, and the price and everything and that helps you build a belief system. That's what I'm saying. Hodl.
Yeah. Hodl. It's hard.
Well, life is hard. Life is hard. If you work hard
True.
and you work hard,
Yeah.
you eventually go to the finish line, hopefully successfully. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Richie, don't forget to hodl your wife. That's very important. Hodl to forever.
Hodl your wife.
Oh, for that, yeah. That is one of the stocks you're getting. Like, you can lose 50% like that on your wife,
Yeah, true. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for coming on stream today. It was an honor
Thank you.
to have some time with you guys, and thank you very much, Phil, for coming.
Thank
I
you
know
for
you're
the invitation.
you're a busy man. You're a busy
Thank
man.
you to everybody, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and
Having us.
if you want to find gems, you can find them at GEMS.VIP. That's their website, and I'll have the Twitter link and all their socials in the description of this video, so you can find out more about them. If you have any questions, you can of course ask me, or get into the GEMS Telegram, or talk to Phil as well, and then we can point you in the right direction or answer any questions that you might have. And I will have an update video on the GEMS insurance and GEMS Protect coming in the next couple of days, because I think it's brilliant idea. Once again.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks guys, and I will
Thanks.
see you in the next one. Bye.